Hi guys, welcome back to Decorating Happily Ever After. I'm Jeffrey Kevin. For today's Christmas tablescape, I'm hearkening back to the days of yore in jolly old England. I call this my ye old Christmas tablescape. I'm using transferware dishes, my collection of vintage teapots, and a color scheme of red, chocolate brown, and olive greens. So let's take a look around the table. For today's tablescape, I'm using a tablecloth with sort of an old world pattern. It's got pine cones, evergreen, and holly berries. It's by Ralph Lauren and I picked it up at Marshall's. For the chargers, I'm using my hammered bronze. For the dinner plates, I have these olive green. You guys may remember I used these back during the fall. I got them at Hobby Lobby. They have fall leaves and acorns, but I think the pattern could extend out. You could use it throughout the winter months as well. I'm going to use red dinner napkins. And for the salad plates, I have these transferware plates. They have a old English scene of a town. There's a vendor selling chestnuts, and there's carolers set in front of, like I said, a Tudor looking village. And around the edge there's holly and lanterns and evergreen. I'm going to use my wood-handled flatware today. I'm going to be using my ruby red cup and saucers today. And then for the stemware, ruby red. They're by Avon, and I also have the little cordial glass. I'm also going to be using Christmas crackers today as well. For my centerpiece today, I've taken a pretty old-fashioned lantern in black and I've arranged an arrangement around it. This is one of my floral designs, and for it I've used red magnolias, I've got pine boughs and red berries, and there are pine cones, and on the ribbons I have one that's linen with red birds on it and then sort of an olive green burlap. One thing that I love to do, guys, is pull a motif from a dish or from something on the table, and that's what I've done here. On the transfer salad plates, you can see there's an almost identical little lantern. So when I saw this lantern, I knew I had to make it up to go with these dishes. I'm also using my collection of ye olde cottage teapots. I started collecting these a few years ago. I wasn't familiar with them until I found one at Goodwill of all places. And then after I found that one, I began to look online and I bought several on eBay. They're different little cottages and they are made in England, and I have several manufacturers here on the table, but to be honest, the marks are so blurred and hard to read. But these are vintage. Some of them are a little bit crackled, but this is a really sweet one here. I suppose it's a coffee pot. And then at this corner I have a sugar and a creamer. This is the creamer, and I've set it here on my little cupcake stand that's ruby red. And this is the creamer. And as you can see, the cottages are all similar but different. And I suppose this is a line of vintage kitchenware. There are also things like butter dishes and pitchers. I don't have some of those, but this is one of my favorites. It's a little biscuit jar. I think that's so cute. And I actually keep this collection upstairs in my guest bedroom of all places, but I think they're really sweet. And here's another little cottage. It has its little thatched roof. Sweet little teapot. And I'm also using my dessert plates. They're the Cape Cod pattern as well. When I found this tablecloth, I was just flying through Marshall's, and a few weeks before I had bought the transferware plates, and I thought, wait a minute, that looks like my plates. And they're not actually made to match one another, but I thought the colors were perfect in that they were those muted shades of the deep reds and the olive greens and browns, and I thought they tied in really pretty together. I fell in love with the Christmas cracker tradition years ago when the children were little. I started buying them, and prior to that I had never heard of them, but when you crack them open they make a little pop, and there's a little crown inside, a little paper crown, and sometimes jokes and little toys and little small trinket items. So the kids love those. I couldn't leave my nephew alone with them in the room whenever he was little because he wanted to open them up. One time I had some around a Christmas tree, and I walked in the room and he had already started to open them. At this corner of the table I have a milk pitcher, and it isn't vintage, but it looks like one of the cottages, and I thought it married well with my ye olde cottage teapots. And I also have this vintage little musical tree, and it's in shades of brown, which is kind of unusual, and it still plays. It's not perfect, it's got some things off here and there, but I believe I picked that up at an antique shop years ago. And I've got this little cottage teapot on my ruby red thistle cake stand. And here at the back I've used my silent butler. This one I've used before. It has sort of a cottage scene on it, so I thought that would be perfect for today. And it has a little broom there that you use to brush your crumbs from the table into it. Here at the back I have the ruby red, this would be the creamer, and then on the other side I have the ruby red sugar bowl. There it is hiding. Then I have this little compote. It's in the ruby red, and I've put a cloved orange in it. And I pulled out my collection of ruby red glassware. This is the punch bowl. It has the stand that it sits on. And I've just cloved some oranges to go in it, but you could use it for your wassail if you wanted to. But the oranges smell so wonderful. That's one of my favorite Christmas traditions, is to clove oranges. I got the Ruby collection, most of it, at an estate sale. The punch bowl and the cups. I have 2 sets of cups. I also have the punch bowl cups that don't have saucers. And then here on the table, I've used the little teacups that do have saucers. Here's another Ye Olde Cottage teapot. It has its little thatched roof and open timbers. Isn't that cute? And I've also used this pair of candlesticks. They're glass, but these, they're the same pattern, the Cape Cod pattern, but guys, they're perfume bottles. And both of them still have very strong cologne in them. But I've just put red candles in them, and I don't think I've ever used them on a table before, but they came with the set. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave me a comment below. Give this video a thumbs up and share it with a friend. Be sure and subscribe to my channel, Decorating Happily Ever After, and turn on the notifications bell so you never miss a video. I'm Jeffrey Kevin, wishing you a jolly old Christmas. Bye-bye now.